Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again towards Parashat Toldot for a short insight into some midrashic material that crystallizes for us a certain part of this fascinating story. Well, we all know the story that Yitzchak is about to pass away from this world and he wants to give over the bracha, the blessing, to his beloved son Esav. Rivka, his wife, overhears this and decides to orchestrate a whole new event, which is that Yaakov will be getting this blessing and not Esav. How does she manage to convince Yaakov? That's a story in itself, but what she requests from Yaakov to do, once he has been convinced, is go and bring me Shnei Gedaye Izim. Go and bring me two young goats, two kids. Two young goats that bring me from the farm, and I will prepare them as a lovely meal for your father. And the question arises as follows. It's a meal for one person. Two goats, you have to prepare two whole goats for a meal for one person. What is going on here? So for that, we need to go into Midrashic material. What is Midrash? Just for one moment. Midrash was written at the time of the Mishnah, about 1,700 years ago, by Tanoim and by great rabbis. And what does it do? The Midrash actually, whilst the Torah gives us the story and explains things to us black and white, the Midrash comes and adds in color. So there are two types of Midrash. There's Midrash Halacha, that adds color to different laws that we have in the Torah. And there's Midrash Agadah, that adds certain color to the stories and the messages we have in the Torah. So we are just now in Parashat Toldot in Sefer Breshit. Sefer Breshit has only 3 mitzvot, and none of them are in Parashat Toldot. So our Midrash is going to be Midrash Agadah. The Midrash comes in to add color to the actual story. So it comes in to answer this question, why do we need 2 young goats as a meal for one old man, Yitzchak? What's going on here? So the Midrash has 2 opinions. One opinion is that day was Pesach. And on Pesach, we have 2 offerings. One is the Pesach offering, and one is the Chagiga offering, which is to show our happiness. It's a happy day. We sit at the Seder table with a lot of food, and we are actually passing on the tradition. We're passing on to the next generation the stories of Yetziat Mitzrayim and the stories of our family and the stories of Judaism. And we talk about Jewish continuity. And it's a great chag. It's a great celebration. And therefore we have a lot of food at the table, and we have 2 sacrifices, the Korban Pesach and the Korban Chagiga. That is one explanation. The second explanation is no. It was Yom Kippur. It was Yom Kippur. And on Yom Kippur, there are 2 young goats being sacrificed. Seir echad l'Hashem, v'seir echad l'Azazel. One is brought up as an offering to Hashem, and one is not, is being destroyed. And none of them are being eaten because it's Yom Kippur today. So what is actually happening here? The 2 different ideas are not simple. They're actually telling us there are 2 different events here. One says it was Pesach, and one says it was Yom Kippur. Says Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Rabinovich from Lublin, one of the greatest rabbis in Poland 150 years ago, in his book Pri Tzadik, he has a beautiful insight on this Midrash. And he says, the Midrash is not teaching us a chronological issue. It's not whether it was the 10th of Tishrei, which is Yom Kippur, or it was the 15th of Nisan, which is Pesach. It's not an issue of the chronological. It's what type of event was it? Was it an event full of celebration that Yitzchak is now giving his blessing over to his child? It's a Pesach-like event with all the connotations which are positive and happy. Or was it a Yom Kippur event, a day of judgment, a day that he's deciding which son is going to be the continuation of his heritage and the continuation of Avraham Avinu, and is going to build Am Yisrael. It's a day of judgment. And that's what it's really talking about. So he asked the question, so what was it? Was it a day of judgment? Or was it a day of celebration? And he answers a very beautiful answer. He says, there's Yaakov here, and there is Yitzchak here. For Yitzchak, it's a day of celebration. For Yitzchak, it's Pesach. He's passing on his blessing to the next generation. For him, it's a big celebration. For Yaakov, though, Yaakov knows that he is swindling his father and making him think he's Esau, and he is going to be judged on this, and he hopes to be judged favorably about this, although he's doing what his mother told him. So he's doing kibbut av v'em. But all the same, he knows this is something difficult, and therefore, for him, it's a Yom Kippur event. For him, it's a Yom Kippur event, which I think is a profound idea, and that's how we come about this machlokas. In fact, this idea we can take further to other midrashim. For instance, the Talmud in Rosh Hashanah, Daf Yud Amud Bet, has the following machlokas as far as when was the world created. And we have Rabbi Eliezer and we have Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Eliezer says in Tishrei, which is Rosh Hashanah, the world was created. And Rabbi Yeshua says, no, in Nisan, which is Pesach time, the world was created. So also there, the machlokes, the difference of opinions is not chronological. When was the world created? The question is, what type of event was the creation of the world? Was it a Pesach event? Or was it a Rosh Hashanah type event? What is the difference? The difference is, what is the ultimate outcome of this world? When you create something in the very beginning, you want to look at the final outcome. And when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was creating the world, he was looking already at Geula, at the final redemption. So there are two thoughts about the final redemption. There's one final redemption, which is like Pesach. Like Pesach was totally unnatural, was above nature, which we have Nissim of the 10 plagues and the crossing of the Red Sea and all these amazing things. So that's how amazing the redemption is going to be. When the time's up, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring a full redemption with incredible miracles. That is a Pesach. That is a Pesach, the end of the story, and therefore the world was created already in Nisan, with Nisan in mind. That's Rabbi Yeshua. But Rabbi Eliezer says no. It's got to do with Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's got to do with Tishrei. It's got to do with Teshuvah. If we do Teshuvah, we can bring about redemption. It's in our hands. It's not a matter of when the time comes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will do great miracles. It's up to us to become better people and make this a better world so that redemption should come. Be'geula shleima b'mheira b'meinu amen.